it looks like, do you see Helen is looking for the Zoom link for tonight? I don't know if you see her on the Wix.
Yeah, once we get started, I'll email the link.
All right.
Are we recording?
We're recording.
All right. So I'm just going to give myself a little spotlight here. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you're here. And if you've been feeling the rapid shifts lately, you're exactly where you're meant to be. The solar flares, the timeline splits, the energetic upgrades. You know, the universe is pushing us all towards something powerful. This isn't just about feeling better temporarily or chasing after manifestations. It's about becoming the version of yourself who effortlessly matches the life that you want. Here's the difference with what we do at Cogno Conscious. While many teachings ask you to escape your body, quiet your mind, or spend hours trying to affirm your way to a new reality, we work directly with the root, your nervous system. Your nervous system is what's actually broadcasting your reality, creating your timeline, and determining what can show up in your life. If it's stuck running old trauma loops, survival patterns, or limiting beliefs, no amount of positive thinking will fully shift you. At Cogno Conscious, we rewire your nervous system in real time so you anchor directly into your next level reality immediately. No more waiting months for change, no more roller coasters of breakthroughs and setbacks, just clear, aligned, lasting shifts. And we're making this an even easier yesterday. If you sign up for Cogno Conscious in the next 24 hours, you'll receive our foundational essentials course absolutely free. It's $2.99. Essentials is required for Cogno Conscious, so now's your best chance to grab it at zero cost. Also, there are only 10 more tickets available at the price that it is right now, the Cogno Conscious tickets. So you have a chance to get essentials for free and get Cogno Conscious tickets at the lowest price it's going to be for the rest of the year. If you already have essentials, message me privately right now. I have an exclusive coupon code just for you to accelerate your. I'll share more soon, but let's not wait any longer. I'm thrilled to introduce your guides for today, the extraordinary co-creators of Cognomovement, Bill McKenna and Liz Larson. Liz and Bill are globally recognized pioneers whose groundbreaking work sits right at the intersection of consciousness, neuroscience, and energy. Featured on Gaia TV, Coast to Coast AM, the Shift Network, and the Reality Revolution, they've guided thousands through transformative shifts that start in your nervous system and ripple out into every area of your life. If you've been searching for that one missing piece that ties it all together, this is it. Liz and Bill, will you take it away?
All right, everybody. Oh, it is dark. This is weird lighting. What do you think, Bill? It's very mysterious.
I think it's great. You actually show up. You pop there.
Very mysterious looking, isn't it?
It's very lair-like. I like it.
So tonight we are talking about whether or not your nervous system is actually broadcasting from the past. And for that reason, are the things you're trying to manifest through an old timeline. Isn't that an interesting idea? How could your present or your future be manifesting through an old timeline? Well, as it turns out, it's the place from which your nervous system has the strongest signal, and it's generally from an old injury, something emotional, something physical, even something spiritual that resonates the most, emits the strongest signal from your body. And for that reason, you are manifesting from that place or somewhere from the future. And this isn't just, we're not just blowing smoke. There is some science behind this, isn't there, Bill?
There sure is. So once you understand this concept, it really makes sense. The first thing is that, back in the day, everybody thought my thoughts are here, right here, and that's the only place they are. But as it turns out, we're actually broadcasting our thoughts. And this now through something called magnetoencephalography. We know it to be true. Your thoughts are non-local. There is a device, everybody's familiar with an EEG, where you put on a cap and it measures your different brain waves, and you can measure where the action is in your brain. Well, this MEG, the magnetoencephalography, has their sensors out in space so that they're not attached to your head, and they can pick up the electrical charge that is at a certain point around your head and map it to where that is in the brain. What kind of frequency, if you're an alpha, beta, brainwave, all those things. So what this has scientifically proven is that your thoughts are non-local. And that's just with what's going on today with technology. It's actually probably more advanced than that. There was a interview that was done that was, I think, the sixth man on the moon. What was his name again? The founder of Ions?
Edgar Mitchell. Did you hear me, Bill? Edgar
Yes.
Mitchell. Yeah.
Edgar Mitchell. So Edgar Mitchell, in his final interview before he died, which got taken down off of YouTube,
Yeah.
but in his final interview, he said, we have technology now that we can tell every experience you've ever had from the field around you. They can actually read that. So anyway, as it turns out, today, you're going to actually feel this, the reality of this physically in the field that surrounds you. That your thought, your feeling, your manifestation actually builds up a density around you that you're going to be able to actually physically feel and utilize to speed up your manifestation.
There's actually even more science. What Edgar Mitchell was talking about at that time was, would have been considered really, really woo-woo. Like it wouldn't have been, nobody knew about it. But it turns out that there is actually that device that they were talking about is available. And there's practitioners around the world who can tap into your resonant field. It's actually your nervous system that extends 6 to 8 feet around your body that holds every minute of your life in that field, and it can be tapped into, which is a little terrifying. Now, the people that have the device, they use it for, diagnosis and for healing. It's interesting because it will show you what's there. It doesn't necessarily take it away, but it does show you what's there. I saw some information today, and I have to look it up here. It's called the quantum particle Zeta 9 is some new research that has happened that even takes this to the next level. It can preemptively know what you're going to choose. So the tests were like, is the person going to choose a red button or the blue button? Are they going to look left or look right? And so it would read a thought, the signal from your brain that would say what you're going to choose. So what's interesting is it's not just that it can now see a thought, it's that it knows what that thought is. And also dreams can be printed out now too. Did you know this, right? So there's overwhelming evidence that literally our nervous system is extending into our field. There's electricity that shows up, there's light, our feelings, our emotions are there, but this Zeta 9 particle is preempting what the person thinks. So in the interview, what they said was, well, maybe this is proof of the greater field and that your thoughts are coming in non-locally. But with Cognomovement, there's something we've said for a very long time. And it got a lot of pushback, but that it's the other end of your nervous system, your emotional body, your feeling state, provides the first signal. And all your brain really does is interprets that signal. So that gut feeling that you get sends the trigger to your brain, run, hide, get bigger than, or you meet somebody and all of a sudden your body, your heart opens up, you get the butterflies, And then your thought thinks, hey, they're great looking. And they might not be to anyone else, but they are to you. So it's this end of the nervous system that is your emotional signal that goes to the brain. And it's my opinion only, because, I'm not a scientist and rarely play one on TV, that it is what it is reading, what this zeta 9 particle is reading, is this sensation. So how does this relate to things that you want to manifest and your body manifesting from the past? Well, these signals that your body is sending out are your neural patterns. I was injured when I'm 4. Mine was, don't be ridiculous, right? So the pattern runs between my body and my brain, my body and my brain, and it manipulates how I think. It actually dictates how I see the world. If I was seeing the world through my 4-year-old neural pattern of don't be ridiculous, that would act like an electric fence around my life that I couldn't get through. I couldn't get past. But once that's collapsed, I'm immediately transported to the present, to who I really am, to what's the real truth about me and how I can feel about myself that is not linked to a moment way, way in the past. And we don't need to talk about how far in the past it was, do we? 4 to now. I'm not giving you that number. I know you guys want it. So the point is that the nervous system is the great time traveler, and it is always trying to reach to fix something in the past or project something, fear of something into the future. No matter what that is, it limits the way we view reality, period, end of story. And now we know you can see it in the field. So the session that we're going to do today, we're not quite there yet. We're going to be feeling into the field. And because these are have mass, these feelings that we have, the neural patterns, you can feel them. So Lee, would you bring Bill back on to split screen? And we want everybody to just kind of try this on a little, just a tiny bit. So I want you to think for a second, and you're going to use this for the session today, of something that you want to manifest, something small. Please don't pick the lottery or world peace, because it won't help you for this session, but something you'd like to experience, something you'd like to have. And then I want you to just notice that if you were going to reach out into space and grab it, that you sort of instantly know where it would be. So think about it. Where would it be? Don't think about it, actually. Just react. If I were going to reach out and grab it, where would it be? And then I want you to actually put your hand there and kind of feel around. And notice if weirdly there's like heat there. Or may not be heat, it might be cold. It might feel like air jello. What are some of the other things we say, Bill? It might feel like what?
Yeah, air jello, a thickness, a viscosity, like you could swear that the air somehow got thicker in that space. Or flip your hand underneath, and it's like the air weighs a little heavier right there. It's as if they're heavier. And if you feel around it, you'll see how big it is. So this thickness coming from underneath, you can feel a little bit of a weight of it.
Yeah. And you do not have to be intuitive or even sensitive to feel this. It is true. If you're sitting across from somebody at lunch, if you were sitting across from me and having coffee, which I would highly recommend, that would be a lot of fun. And you would say, Liz, there's this thing that I want. Like, it is so close. I can touch it. You will naturally be gesturing for it. And if you're not an Italian who waves your hand around like me, you're going to look for it. Your eyes are going to move right to the spot. All of us do it. And here's the reason why. Because our bodies do know where our own systems hold our patterns. And we will reach with our eyes to the part of the brain that has access to that neural circuit. And when our eyes move there, it creates a feeling. Now, you may have just had the feeling. So the feeling will either be, ooh, yeah, or, ooh, I want it, but there's a little pain there. There's something holding me back. But it will create a sensation for you. If there is no sensation, this is not a thing you even want. Your system doesn't care about it. So it's either a negative or positive response, or it could even be neutral, but neutral we would consider more of a positive. So think about it again, the thing you'd love to have, and just notice where your eyes just move to find it. Where do you look? And then reach out again and notice that when you put your hand there, if the sensation gets a little bigger. Now, it could be a negative sensation, and that's okay. We're going to use that. We're going to work with that. If it's a negative sensation, this is where your system is actually relying on a past feeling. A feeling, it could be a moment in time, but it's really a feeling to think about and try to reach for that thing, whatever it is. So in that case, it's in the past. If you put your eyes there and you're like, ooh, I like it. It feels good. But what if this happens if I get it? That's your body's projecting into the future. It's not in the now. Isn't that interesting? Post in the chat if you guys think that is interesting. Here's what you need to know. It's not just a manifestation thing. That's a fun thing to do, but it's who you love, what's happening in your relationships, what's happening in your money, what's happening in your body and your health. They're all there, right, Bill? These patterns are all right there in the field.
Everything that you put a lot of energy into, the traumas are out there in the field, or something that you really, really, really want. And the interesting thing about this is that those traumas, if you reached out and felt that in the field, it would feel like, little shocks or very thick or even more density. The more energy you put into it, the more density there is. If you've had a problem with somebody over your whole life and it's just ongoing, guarantee you, if you reach out to that place where you think that is, it's thick, very thick. So much so that, it's kind of amazing. But the important thing about all this is that it is to understand what we call the current of manifestation. This has actually been known for thousands of years, but there is a current where things go from thought to thing, and it goes like this. It's like a donut, and it comes down through your body. Everybody knows about the chakras. You wouldn't be here if you didn't, but things go from here, idea, thought, speaking about, and as it goes through and goes down this path, it gets more and more dense, has more and more energy. So it goes all the way through your, like, doing something about it as it comes down through your body to the final point of the lowest energy in your body, your base chakra, your base energy system. And when it gets there, just amazing thing happens. And that is that it goes from I want it to it's mine. This is happening. And I know it. I don't think it. I know it. It's as if you ordered the Big Mac at McDonald's and you're like, it's on its way. I paid my money. That Big Mac's coming.
Yeah. What's so interesting about that feeling is that it's like it already happened. And your nervous system sort of lets go of worrying about it one way or the other. It's like, yeah, obviously that's happening. No big deal. I mean, you've all had that situation where you order your Big Mac, it's coming. You're not worried about it. You're just, okay, it's showing up and it is. And that's what it feels like when it's pulled down through the system. So Kazi asked, what if I feel it inside my body? So this is it. With Cognomovement, we do something that no one else does. Because we think about things in the terms of the nervous system. There's 3 places. One is the sensation in your body, that feeling state about something. And it could be anywhere. It could be physical pain. It could be a feeling in the heart or throat that you would call an emotion. It could be pressure. It could be lightness. It could be tingling. But there is going to be a signature, a feeling sensation signature for each thing in your life, and you recognize it instantly when it happens. Oh, there's that old feeling again, right? So when wanting to manifest something, I was thinking about Leah. We've been looking for, a retreat center around the world, and Leah sent me one the other day. And we've thought about this and played with it so much that immediately when I saw it, my chest just lit up. I'm like, ooh, yes, please, right? My body just exuded, and it's a very familiar feeling now because, we've been playing with this and looking for one. So for you, it's going to feel very, very familiar. The second thing is the eye position. Remember I said your eyes are going to just reach for it. So there's body and then brain. Remember, the body comes first and the brain interprets. And then there is the field. When you put yourself in those three positions, triangulating that sensation, eye position, field position, and physical position, all of a sudden that neural pathway is instantly lit up. Now it could be the negative, and that's great because now you've located it in such great detail that collapsing it becomes so much easier. When it's a great feeling, that's fantastic too. Now you're generating that even faster, even stronger. Remember, Bill said the density builds up. And now that signal becomes the singular signal that is sent out and will absolutely 100% find its match. Both do, positive and negative. So those, what we do with them is we bring them back into the body and we make that signal bigger and bigger. So you're definitely going to feel it in your body. You're definitely going to feel it in your eyes, and you're definitely going to feel it in the field. So I think we're ready to get started. Leah, I know, has a few words while Leah's talking here for a minute. Please write down that's the thing that you want. Make it something small so you can work with it. This is just a mini session. It's called the Quantum Set. So I want you to be ready to go pick one thing, and not world peace or the lotto, because it's too short of a session. Pick one thing, write it down, and be ready in just about 35 seconds. Ready, Lee?
Oh, can you hear me now? I was muted. Yes, no, maybe? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. All right, perfect. Before we jump into this experience, I want to clarify something crucial. You really don't need another quick fix or another temporary spiritual high. You're here because you're ready to make your shift real and permanent. Cogno Conscious is about fully integrating that higher timeline, that higher frequency directly into your nervous system so clearly, so deeply, that going back to the old patterns just isn't possible. Imagine waking up the day after Cogno Conscious to a reality that feels completely different. It's clearer, easier, lighter, and it's finally yours. And if you ask Bill and Liz or any of our other people that have come to Cogno Conscious, you may wake up after the first day and feel like your reality is completely different. So I just want to tell you again, for the next 24 hours, when you reserve your spot at Cogno Conscious, you get the Essentials course for free. It's normally $2.99. It's your prerequisite anyway. You have to have it. So you can grab this gift while it's still available and ensure your September transformation is inevitable. Just to let you know, prices are going up. There are only a few tickets left at this price. It's going to be the lowest price for the rest of the year for Cogno Conscious tickets. If you already have Essentials, message me right now. I have a special coupon code for you. Don't miss your moment. The shift isn't coming someday. It's happening right now. So let's make sure your nervous system is ready for it. And let's move on to the session.
All right, Bill McKenna is going to kick us off.
Okay. All right. So as it turns out, your nervous system is going to help tell the truth. Whatever the manifestation is that you desire, what we're going to do is we're going to find any objection to it. You might think, oh man, I'm completely good with this. If you are completely good and clear with it, it will show up like that. So there's something in the way. And your nervous system is going to present that to you. And we'll utilize that to unblock that thing so that we can get this thing fired up and speed up the process. So the exercise is very, very simple. For those of you who already have your Cognomovement ball, either you can use either ball, either one. And if you don't have a ball, you can just use a pen and just use the tip of the pen. And the exercise is going to be to do an infinity. It's basically a figure 8 on its side, and we're going to move our eyes and track very, very slowly. I did that quickly just to demonstrate for you. So close your eyes, look down, and think about that thing that you want. Whatever that thing you're looking at manifesting, get yourself right there. I want this. I'm feeling it. I can see myself having it. Get yourself there. And then grab your pen or your ball, and we're going to slowly do the infinity. Very, very slowly. And as we do, notice here, stay in, focused on that thing. Whatever that thing is, focus on it. And you may find a particular area as you're going along that your eyes feel like they're pulling, or they want to blink, or you can't track in that area. When you find that area, whatever that area is, specifically, just stop right there. And what you're going to do is keeping your head straightforward and level. You're focused in on having whatever it is that you want to manifest. And notice right here, is there something that comes to mind? A reason that you shouldn't have it. You can't have it. I can't because of whatever. A fear of the future of some kind, a trauma in the past, something somebody told me at some point, whatever it might be, just notice. Keep your eyes parked, breathe. You can even move your ball out further away from you, or your pen, noticing, what is it? What is it? Why? You can stay in whatever it is that you want and just notice whatever comes to mind. And when you get your answer, just notice, sometimes these things are from the mind of a child. You're like, well, if I get this, then this other person's going to get to enjoy it. And I don't want them to enjoy anything. Or if I get this, then there's going to be something else that happens. I have a responsibility, or you name it, whatever it might be. Go back to whatever it is, that thing that you want. It's like seeing yourself having it. See yourself have it. Noting Okay, I found kind of an objection. All right, just duly noted. We're going to use that in a few minutes. So you're here and you're enjoying having whatever that is, whatever it is. Just noticing the enjoyment and paying attention. Paying attention. Is there a place where my eyes don't want to be? Is there a depth they don't want to look at? Is it hard to keep focused at a particular depth? Park it there. Notice what comes. Breathe. If you notice yourself holding your breath during this process, breathe. It'll help the information to come. The breath is a bridge in between the conscious mind and subconscious. Breathe. And as you go here, being in the enjoyment of having whatever that is that you wanted to manifest, staying in that enjoyment, notice where you feel that good feeling in your body. Notice that. Notice whatever position your eyes are in when things are just not quite. They're not quite. Maybe it's pulling a bit. You can even blink your eyes in the position. Blink your eyes rapidly. Sometimes you'll actually get like little pictures, like flashes of pictures, like that explain what it is. What's the objection? The objection to me having this. Your eyes open are a conscious part of your brain, and the subconscious part of your brain is when they're closed. So blinking is a really interesting phenomenon. And if you pay close attention, you can get little glimpses of what is the subconscious issue in that particular part of my brain. So everywhere you look's a different part of your brain. Breathe. Beautiful. Okay, and raise it up, breathe in, and bring your ball down. For all of you that have your full Cogno movement ball, you're going to move left to right. All the way left, all the way right. Just noticing now whatever objection that was. Calling out the color. You're at the chest level, throat level, eye level, and now overhead. Breathe in. And bring it down. Okay, now you've got some critical information. The objection to your manifestation. And Liz is going to show you how to work with that. so that we can speed this entire process up.
All right. Great work, everyone. So I just want to say that was just 10 minutes. Now I would imagine 6 hours a day times 5 days, 30 hours of working through every aspect of your life from shame to enlightenment. I want to say it is not easy. We were talking to Katie Wrigley today, one of our practitioner mentors, and she was talking about how it kicked her butt the first time. And I think she's now been, I think she maybe 7 times. And she said it's the hardest but best thing you'd ever do in your life. And I want to tell you this about it too, that Bill and I get super creative. 30 hours of sessions, so much Cogno movement stuff gets invented. It's a lot of fun. So, all right, let's get started. So here's what I want you to do. We're just going to use hands. And the first thing we're going to do is what's called a quantum scan, just to be sure that that objection place isn't the only little objection. So you found it in the field. We're going to work on that. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to open your hands about this wide. And what you're going to do, and you can't really see me enough, but we're going to run our hands through the field from the center line around to the back. And I want you to go all the way down next to, and you can see our new puppy here, next to your hip even. Okay. So that feeling that you just found, that objection that you just found, I just want you to hold it in your body. Feel it. Let yourself feel it, but you're going to let your eyes move with your hand, and you're just going to move through your field and just see if as you move, there's anywhere that sensation kicks up, the blockage sensation kicks up. Just gently moving, and I'm using my right hand now. We're going to move through the right part and up, and anywhere that it kind of like there's a little, hitch in your giddy up, a little bit of fear, you're going to stop there. You're going to notice the thickness in the field, and we're just going to take a second and clap it out. And what you're looking for is a loud snapping feeling, because what you might find is there's some density there, like Bill was talking about in the beginning, and that there's a thud. It's like a dull thud, almost like a sickening thud. But as soon as you get a nice snap, shake it out. You'll also kind of feel that the sensation in the body lets up just a little. Kind of shake it off. Good. And then continue on with your scan. You're focused on that sensation, that block that you found with Bill, following, and breathe. Big, deep breaths, like you're taking a shower on the inside. We're going to signal to the nervous system we're relaxing around whatever this is. Keep going. And just notice if your block happened to have been on the side with your eyes, just notice as you move through it, if there's a thickness and another hitch in your giddy up there. Ready? Tap it out. What we're doing is we're just dispersing one end of that neural pattern, one end of the energy. Just keep moving one more time all the way around. And then let your hands be in the center. Just let yourself rest for a sec. And then begin all the way down by your hip on the other side, just holding that feeling, the blocked feeling, for just a second. For some of you, it may be gone already. That is great. Feel a little hitch in your giddy up and something dense in the field. Clap it out. So you get that really loud snap. You'll hear your ears ring. Breathe in and continue on your scan. And it might be interesting to notice that in some places you feel a density, in other places it's more that energy kick up in the body. Keep breathing. Good. And just let your head rest and your eyes rest for a second. And breathe deeply. And while you do, I want you to put your attention on what it feels like to have that thing enter your life. And notice if it feels a little more clear, a little more now, a little less then. Just breathe. Good. And now let your eyes come open and think and feel about it again, and notice where your eyes move. And notice if you have a little more of a smile on your face, if it feels a little easier, a little lighter. And I want you to reach out and put your hand right in the middle of it. Let your eyes move to that place, follow your hand, let your hand feel under it. And now notice if maybe there's a little bit of a tickle, a little bit of a, oh yeah, feeling, or something else for you. Notice the weight of it, the mass, and notice how the feeling has changed. And we're going to begin putting your hand under it, almost like you can hold it, like you're going to cradle it. Nice big deep breath. Let your eyes stay there. And then we're going to go on a really quick timeline journey. Just move down 1 week past the moment that this thing arrived in your life. 1 week. You have it. It's yours. 365 degrees. You can see it all. Look who's there. Notice where you are on the planet. Keep your eyes in it. Keep your hand in it. Beautiful. Big deep breath. Travel down 1 month. Just 1 month after this thing happened, and notice what your life looks like. Just notice. Who's there? Might be surprised. What's going on? What do you look like? See yourself in it. Gorgeous. And I said it's just a mini, so we're just going to stop at a month. And if you're like, yeah, I like it, what you're going to do is have a gentle tug, almost like you're pulling a golden line, and you're going to gently tug that timeline towards yourself to the part of your body that's really active right now. For me, it's right here in my chest. For you, it's going to be wherever it is, and you're just going to gently pull. And if you lose the feeling, you're going to move back in and start again, pull back. Just see it getting stronger and stronger. The signal, we're just enhancing the signal. Pull it in. And you'll notice that the feeling in your body gets stronger. Keep your eyes in it. Remember, we're triangulating. And then let it seat right in that place. And if you've got the right place and the energy of that timeline has moved in, everything will feel just a little bit bigger. Maybe there's a warm feeling. Maybe your eyes light up. Maybe your body lights up. And just let yourself feel it. Again, we're just reinforcing, making that signal stronger. Breathe into it. Just let yourself enjoy it. Good. And then we're going to do a very quick, very abbreviated pulling back down into the chakras. Now, all you're doing is we're taking this feeling, this idea, and we're moving it through the crown into the 6th chakra, 5th, 4th, all the way down. And all you're going to do is see, does this chakra, does it feel good? That's all it is, a sensation. Remember, sensation drives thought and feeling and signal. So Bill calls this a star of creation. Imagine this bright white light over your head, and it's just going to assist you. And I want you to put that manifestation in it. And then see it drop into the crown chakra, and then down into the 6th. And just notice if this idea sits in your 6th chakra, right here. Will it go there? Does it fit in my logical mind, in my 3rd eye? Good. Take a big deep breath and move it down into the throat. Can I speak this into existence? Can I speak through it? Can I talk to it? Will it sit in my 5th chakra? Big deep breath. Pull it down into your heart, into that heart chakra. Just see, how does your heart chakra feel about it? Just the sensation. Do I love it? Does it love me? Good. Big deep breath, let it move down. And we're just trying it on this time. It's a quick one. Move it down into that energy center, that solar plexus. Let's see, does it energize me? Am I energized? Big deep breath, let it drop down into the second chakra, right there, belly button level. And is it creative? Does it create more for me? Yeah. Big deep breath. Move it down and let it seat into that first chakra right at the base of your spine. And notice, is this home for me? Is it supportive? Does it ground me? Does it make me more? Good. Breathe in. Now, if it didn't move all the way down, that's okay. You just know that right there, there's a question. Your body has a question about it. That's okay. Just do it again and ask the question, what's here? That's all you have to do. Breathe and let it move down. So if it's seated into that first chakra, now see if you can drop a cord from there down into the center of the earth, just a little anchoring. See if it feels good to do that. And if that feels great, see if you can send a cord from your head up into the core of the sun, just for a little extra zhuzh, a little extra power, horsepower. Center of the earth, grounding, center of the sun, ethereal and energizing. And pull them into the center. See if they meet in the center. You can tie a little bow, tie it together if you want. Just see what it feels like. This is about sensation. Can we create a very positive, delicious sensation that will emanate into our field and draw to it what's like it, which is that thing you want. Like draws like, good, bad, or ugly. It always does. And just notice how that feels in your body. Good. Now, again, that was a very quick quantum set. Just take notes. Tell us in the chat what feels the same, what feels different, what you experienced. And we'll hear from Leah, and then we'll have a Q&A. We'll answer all of your questions about this and other. All right, Lee, over to you.
I'm muting. Okay, everyone. So take a moment and feel into what you just experienced. The shift, no matter how subtle or profound, is just the beginning. So this was just a mini session. If you felt any kind of shift, you know that this work works. So imagine multiplying that feeling exponentially over 5 immersive days at Cogno Conscious. But I want you to understand something a little bit deeper. This isn't just about manifesting your dream life. It's not just about raising your vibration or stepping into your highest potential. Yes, those things happen, but what we're doing here is far bigger, far more impactful than you might realize. When you shift your consciousness in this way, you're shifting it for everyone around you. You're changing the dynamic of your relationships. You're changing how you show up at your job, how you parent your children, how you interact with strangers on the street. You become a beacon. Your energetic signature becomes a catalyst for peace, understanding, and connection. In a world where chaos seems louder every day, this is how we create peace, not by waiting for someone else to change, but by fundamentally shifting our own nervous systems. This is how you rewrite your story, and by extension, the story of everyone whose lives you touch. You're here because the universe called you, because you're ready, and because your soul knows the power of this ripple effect. You matter, your transformation matters, and now it's time to say yes to yourself, to those you love, and to the world you want to live in. So for the next 24 hours only, again, secure your spot at Cogno Conscious, and we'll gift you the Essentials course, which is normally $299, absolutely free. Plus, you'll join an exclusive pre-event live Zoom group session with Liz and Bill to energetically prepare your body and intention for profound shifts. Remember that ticket prices are going up soon. This is truly your best moment. The universe is ready. Your family, your friends, your future, they're ready. And the only question left is, are you? Click the link that I'm going to share in the chat to reserve your place now and start your ripple effect. We believe in you, and we can't wait to see the incredible change you create. And thank you so much for being here and being willing to do the work with us. So with that, we're going to move on to the Q&A. So please let us know what questions we can answer. I'll start off with some we already have. and we'll get going. So I'm going to spotlight Bill and Liz here while I ask questions. So the first question is, I've been to lots of other seminars. They've been awesome and exciting, but I never implement the stuff I learn after. What's different about Cogno Conscious?
Well, may I?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh gosh. Well, here is that. I love that question. Are you a plant? Okay. That question is really goes to the core of Cogno movement. So on our seminars you go to, they're going to typically try to convince you to change your feeling, change your thought pattern, change things that you're doing with a force of will. And when you go to the Cogno Conscious, you're actually rewiring your nervous system and your brain. Your eyes, like I'm just going to use today as an example, your eyes are directly connected to your brain. They're one with your brain. And the resistance, because everywhere we look is a different part of the brain. And when we have resistance to whatever, it shows up. What we're doing is we're exercising that part of the brain and bringing it online. And this is not only just the brain, but it's the entire nervous system. It's literally one. The nervous system is called, the actual thing is an electronic connection. It's the carrier of an electronic charge. So this is being rewired at a fundamental level. So instead of telling yourself, you know what, I shouldn't be afraid, you just aren't. I shouldn't feel shame, you just don't. Imagine that over this 5-day period, you're processing the shame of your lifetime, the guilt of your lifetime. Literally, it's like gone. You just don't feel it anymore. The resentment, the blame, the anger, the things that keep you from trusting, and all the different aspects of life that don't feel good. What if today you're absent of those things and you weren't trying? It wasn't like, I'm really strong and I'm strong-willed or whatever. No, it's gone. So that's what fundamentally makes Cogno movement, Cogno Conscious different, is that it is an intensive and it's a building process. You might think my issue is, well, I've always been kind of afraid and anxious. It might not be that. It could be a shameful event that happened early in your life. Or maybe it's my grief combined with that shame. And when those are eroded, by the time I get up to fear, it's like, poof, it's gone, because it never was that. It was something much, much deeper. So this process is really a scientific process. You're using scientific methods that are proven, National Institutes of Health proven techniques, to methodically go through all the levels. So you end up in a very different place. That's why it's so exciting.
Yeah, well, and it's designed that way. That's one of the biggest things for me in my life. I've been to so many seminars and so many things, and feel amazing afterwards, and I'd have these huge epiphanies. And 3 days later, it was like a plane crash into the ground. Like I couldn't sustain it. I didn't do the things either. Right. So we designed this so it's not about learning something. It's not about meditating. We're not sitting around. You're not trying to take in information. We are literally rewiring your nervous system every minute of 5 days. And, it's extraordinarily difficult and fun all at the same time. For those of you who've been, like, there's no way to explain that. And you find things through your life, you find where your nervous system has been holding you back, and you didn't even realize it. Like Bill said, oh, well, maybe it's something in your childhood, but you don't even know that until all of a sudden we're working at one of those levels, levels of emotional, whatever you call it, the names for the emotions. And you're like, oh my God, I was 4 and my mom said, don't be ridiculous. Or, oh my God, that thing I thought always happened to me, it didn't even happen that way. Your nervous system holds all of your stories and makes shit up as well to keep you safe. That's true. So you find all that. So it's a doing. And by the end of 5 days, you are rewired and you just think differently. You are a different human. After every single session, you're a different human. You're rewired in a way that your system is more of who you really are and less of, projecting and trying to fix the past or projecting into the future. You're really more of you, the pure essence of you. So that is the way it's designed. And there's just nothing like it. There's not even a way to explain it unless you've experienced it, right, Bill? It's really something.
The best way to explain it is how would you feel if it was all gone? All those negative
What would
feelings
it be worth to you if it was all gone?
Yeah, right.
So I wanna move on a little bit just because we have a few questions and I want to get to all of them. So one comment about that though is that you don't have to know what the problem is. You don't even have to even if nothing comes up as far as memories, you still work that through. Like you still get all the benefits. You don't have to pinpoint, and you also don't have to talk about it with anybody. You're working on it through yourself. So the next, I have a question in the comments here about the just Cogno movement in general. When I do Cogno movement, the eye stuckness / pain seems to be in the same place most of the time. I'm curious if this is normal because I get distracted by the thought that the sensation is about my eyes having a problem rather than an opportunity to release something emotional.
Ooh, very, very good question. So I'll take this one. So having eye soreness in the same place all the time is pretty normal. I have one and it's right here. It's minor now, but when I was first doing Cogno movement, I mean, it was major and it was always in that spot. So it's the spot where your brain is not really connected. It's not really working well in that area. And there's a number of reasons. One, it could have been from a head injury, a concussion, a surgery, anesthesia. But it also could be the place where the neural pattern is for what your body thinks is the biggest problem in your life, the trauma, and your eyes are like, I am not looking there. And the nervous system's like, I've hidden this quite well, so please do not look in that direction, right? So it's there. So it could be a structural thing too. It could be the muscles in the eyeballs. So it's okay if you get distracted by the thought, my eyes hurt here. That's fine. But here's my suggestion for you. In that area, you're going to move closer and farther away. You're going to move maybe in a circle there. And you're going to take a big deep breath, relax into that discomfort in your eyes, and then push them just a little farther towards the ball on the out breath. So when we have tension, what the nervous system wants to do is tense up. In Cogno movement, we teach you to relax down into the tension. And in that action of letting the tension release, a lot of times the issue releases as well. Another thing that can happen is in that spot, once you do this, once you get the eyes working a little better there, noodle around, play with it, spend a little time, and notice if a time or place just shows up, where all of a sudden in your mind, you're back at 3 years old and Bill's Christmas tree issue or my don't be ridiculous issue, or someone recently was talking about throwing up at school. You know, you'll just all of a sudden see a time and place play out. And it really doesn't matter. You just watch it with curiosity, like a TV show, and it'll often explain what's right there in that zone. So when you get in these spots, it's actually pure gold. Play with it and see what changes. So those are my suggestions. Really great question.
Another question is, does it take a bit of time to really feel the effect of your session? And obviously it's yes and no, and remember to write down the problem you had before, because you might forget you even had a problem in the first place.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that a little bit? The sometimes that it takes time, or what a person could experience?
Yeah, everybody's different. I would say the majority of humanity will immediately feel it, and they'll feel a sensation go through their body somewhere and dissipate, leave, that sort of thing. So most often, when worked correctly, that's what you'll experience. And as it moves through your body and out, so too does that issue, where it no longer becomes important. So much, as Leah said, so much, we actually created a name for it. It was cogno amnesia.
Yeah.
Where you literally like, what was I working on? There have been times when people have come in with really severe issues where they're like, I'm supposed to travel this weekend and I'm terrified of being on a plane. I think Liz had one of these. I'm terrified, but I've got to go to a funeral or something like that. And anyway, it worked through, and the issue works through. And how do you feel about now, after the session's done, you talk a little bit and they're like, hey, well, how do you feel about getting on the plane now? Oh, I'm fine. That was really never an issue, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. You said this is the biggest issue in your life, but we're all that way. Once we don't feel it anymore, it literally loses its effect. So anyway, some people, to add a little bit more color to this, there are some people that are what we call slow processors. So they'll get to the session, and let's say an issue was a 10, and it gets down to a 4, and that's all you're going to get today. But in another 20 minutes or 24 hours, it's like poof. And these people who are that way, interestingly enough, we kind of get to know their nervous system, that's the way their nervous system operates. And okay, we know that you're one of those. These, I would call this maybe 10% of the population. 90% is the other way.
Yeah, and the reason we know that is I'm one. I couldn't get below a 3. And really that level of we're talking about from 1 to a 10, 10 being the worst feeling. When you get below, you want to get to about a 3. What would happen for me is I just couldn't get it below that during the session, but a half an hour later, it would be gone. I'd be off on my merry way. I would forget about it. Sometimes it would take a little longer, but it just took my system a little bit of time to catch up. If you can't get below a 4, you could stop your session if you've been going on for a long time and see if that's what happens. And if it's not completely gone, it could be that your system just wasn't really ready at that moment. It will process and then come back and finish it up the next day. Usually you'll find that it's still there a little bit. Your opinion about it is very different. You see the world different, but there's something left. And then we call that a cleanup. So, and there are people who are fast processors, and they get done in every session, where around a certain subject, you'll find You can't get below like a 4. And so it just may be one of those issues where your system needs to take it down in steps.
So we had somebody say, thank you, Bill. I did a session with you and I had a fear of public speaking. And now I actually got in front of a group of people last weekend to speak impromptu at a graduation. So congratulations. That is amazing.
Oh my gosh, I've been wondering how you've been. I thank you so much for that. Oh, that is great news. I knew it. I knew it. It was cleared. So awesome.
Good job.
Yes, amazing.
Great job.
So bringing it back to Cogno Conscious, please make sure you ask your questions about Cogno Conscious in the chat. If you have other session questions or Cogno Movement questions, just email us at info@cognomovement.com. We'll get those answered for you. One of the questions that I have is, I've heard Liz say that people who come to people who come to Cogno Conscious are special. So why do you say that, Liz?
Well, because it's true. It's so interesting. Every one of these events is completely different. If you're out there and you've been to more than one, you know this to be true. It's about who shows up. And as a collective, we change together. And so the whole feeling of the event is changed by who's there. And I've always said that no one, and I mean no one, ever ends up at this event who is not intended to be there. It doesn't matter what we do, how many people we intend to have, what's supposed to happen is who shows up. And that becomes super apparent sometime towards the end of the first day. We're like, oh, I see where this thing is going. And so each human that comes to this event is ready for this quantum jump in their life. And I don't say that lightly or as a sales tool. I mean it. When you come to this event, your being knows, oh yes, I knew I would have to come and make this big leap now. And the reason is that it's time. Most people who come to these events know that they are intended to be of service in some way on this planet. But the question is how, or there's that one big thing that I just cannot get through so I can be my whole self in this lifetime. And so when you arrive at this event, you've made the agreement long in advance that you would do it here. And a lot of people do come again and again, and it's not because they're starting over from where they started there. They've made a change. There's been a whole year for their life to actually embody that, and they're like, okay, here we go. I'm ready again to get to the next place. And it truly does change who you are. But also, I think the people that come to Cogno Conscious are so precious to Bill and I and Leah and our mentors who come and help out, because we really see you. We really see the kind of human that you are, that is ready and willing to make such change. And every person who does this work will influence about 1,000 other people. And that's at a minimum, because you guys are powerful people. But we know that you're doing the work for the planet because you actually bring into the field a new level of possibility. What becomes possible for you becomes possible on the planet. And it wasn't before. It wasn't before you made those changes. So we just know that it's very, very important for the people who are there, and that each one of you is are incredible, special humans. That's my opinion, Bill.
Well, we've been doing this long enough where with enough people that we, at one point in time, we were measuring. And there's a logarithmic mathematical scale of this consciousness. You'll find it in Dr. David Hawkins' works, in anywhere from 20 at a level of shame to 1,000 at the high levels of enlightenment. And people move in a given lifetime 5 points, according to the work of Dr. David Hawkins. So if you started life at 20, maybe you moved to 25. You started at 150, maybe you move to 155, but you don't change much. At this seminar, the average used to be 100-point jump. It's absolutely massive amount. You can imagine it's actually even grown greater than that now. It is very significant. As we mentioned before, imagine being free of all that stuff. What would happen to your consciousness? You will go to a place that you will have an understanding of that this is better for me. It's better for me to be here, and that other stuff was just ludicrous, but I had no way out.
But yeah, and the cool thing is it's not a logical mind decision. It's just who you emerge as. So if you show up and let's say that 100 points, let's say you show up and you really do see the world through shame, which is the lowest level, the 20th, and it's 20, and it's an arbitrary number, but it's a vibration. And really what you're looking at is that your life has been sucked, your energy has been sucked down into that shame. So it gobbles your energy. It's not you don't have energy available, it's gobbled into that shame. So if you're at shame and you change 100 points, I think you'll be actually bumped up into fear. And you might say, oh my God, I don't want to be, but in fear, there's so much more actual available energy. So that's what it would be like. But what we see is that people are jumping far greater. And if a person only got to the level 200, which is called neutrality, it's the gateway to that enlightened state. At that place, the whole world is open. You're like in the Matrix, and you're like, oh, that's what this world is really about, right? But that would be from shame to neutrality is a 180-point jump. Most people jump in their life somewhere above at least acceptance, which is quite high already. But a lot of people, because you guys are already amazing humans already, just have some aspect of shame that's still running as a pattern, but it is not who you are. And it's not gobbling all of your energy, but it is holding you back. So once that is cleared, your energy buoys up to past where you normally are. And everyone gets to have the experience of what enlightenment feels like. You'll be shocked when you feel it. None of us live there because we still have work to do. We still have to access the people that are in this 3D planet. But once you have access, you can get there whenever you want. You can get to love or above. You can get to true joy, love plus fun. You can access it because you know what it feels like. And then you kind of move back down into a more livable place, anywhere above neutrality, and you are doing amazing, and you're not better, because it's not a better or worse, but you're having a lot more energy than probably 99.9% of the planet, even if you got to that level. So, yeah.
Okay, so I think we have enough time for just a couple more questions, but I did want to give just a little bit more clarification. So the when you go to cognomovement.com/cognoconscious, if you don't have essentials, or if you do have essentials, you're going to click on your ticket and click the first ticket there, the one that just says general admission. Not the one that says admission plus essentials. Just click the general admission ticket and get that one. That is because we are gifting you essentials for free, which is normally $2.99, and it is a prerequisite. You have to have essentials in order to come to Cogno Conscious. So we're gifting you that for free. So just get the regular admission ticket. As I said before, there's only a few of those left. And then the price is going to go up, and the free essentials is going to go away. The other thing is Cogno Conscious is the 8th, September 8th through the 12th in San Diego. We are going to announce the specific location of Cogno Conscious in just a few weeks, but it is going to be in Little Italy, San Diego, most likely. So you can plan for that. We have somebody says, after working on the essentials for a while, removing problems / blocks, at some point, are there cognitive movement techniques to move into higher consciousness, activate the pineal gland to gain insight? So yes, this is what we're talking about. Is there a cogno conscious event? This is what's going to raise your consciousness. You're already kind of raising your consciousness already. Not kind of, you're already raising your consciousness already when you're working through your issues with with essentials. And you can do it also with Cogno Quantum, but this is the raising consciousness event. Bill and Liz, go ahead if you want to answer that.
Well, yeah, what Leah said is true, that when you're working your essentials program and you're removing blocks and problems, you are literally elevating your consciousness. Your consciousness is the awareness you have come to so far. It's how you see the world and what reality you see, with what lens you see the reality you're in. So if you're seeing the world through a lens of shame or fear or guilt, anger, that's your consciousness level. That's where you're going to be, or at least partially, it's going to be weighing you down. So with your essentials, if you clear out, a big block in your life, some perception that you had, your energy, your available voltage, which can be measured, literally buoys up. You have more available energy. Your ability to see reality is shifted and changed equal to that energy. So your consciousness raises. And I want to talk about the pineal gland for a moment. Cogno movement is unique because, it's not just meditation. We're not just working on energy. We're changing your physiology. And when you work these eye movements that we do, really stretching and having more access to your visual reference and your brain, you are rocking also this sphenoid bone that is right behind your eyeballs. It's like reverse sunglasses behind your eyes. Right behind that is your pineal gland. And in that cradle of your sphenoid is your pituitary gland. And when we're rocking and moving all of that, you're getting a hormone release, a cascade that does have that DMT kind of effect, like activating the pineal gland. So all of that is activated, even with the basics. At Cogno Conscious, again, we are doing this for 30 hours in a week. And then your body is processing throughout the night. So that is done on steroids. Another one of our programs, Steve, that you might look at is our quantum set. It sounds like maybe that's what you're interested in, and that's a possibility as well.
There's because just when I heard you read that, Leah, he was talking about different techniques. One, very specifically, one of the techniques that's exercised extensively at Cogno Conscious has to do with your peripheral vision and the part of your retina that is the non-visual part of your retina that sees into other frequencies. I know that sounds strange, but there's some very interesting science around this. But it's all part of working through these different levels of consciousness. So anyway, the answer is it more than essentials? Yes, it is. There's a lot more.
Yeah. I mean, there's everything more, right? Like 30 hours, Bill and we pull out all the stops. And the only thing that is more than that, the only way you could have more experience than what's at Cogno Conscious is our practitioner program. Yeah. That's a completely different animal, but that's the only way you could have more. Leah, did you see Noelle's question there?
Noelle?
No.
I cannot find the essentials registration. Can one do this program virtually? Okay, so the essentials is our foundational course. It is the how Cogno Movement works, how to do sessions on your own. It comes with a Cogno Movement ball. That it's a prerequisite for all of our other events and classes. So that you have lifetime access. It's a recorded course. So that one you can find on cognomovement.com/essentials. This program specifically that we're talking about, Cogno Conscious, cannot be done virtually. We have tried. it does not work virtually. There is something very, very powerful about this event, and the in-person is a really, really important part of it. That being said, you can do the rest of our courses online for sure, virtually.
Yeah, Cogno Conscious is the one, but outside of practitioner training, it's the one thing that we do live. And we have done it virtually. And it's not that it doesn't work, it's just not the same. There is something about this collective energy, about being there live with Bill and I. So much happens in the field around our bodies. So you know how we were talking about that your neurology actually extends into your field, and all of your life history is right around here, and everybody can feel it. You don't realize it, but they can, and you can feel theirs. But as a group, as we change and release things and move our energy, our consciousness level up, the group helps the group do that. Our fields merge, we create one big field. At one point, we actually created a portal in the room. It was the craziest thing. Every time the energy is different, and if you can see energy, you can literally see it move between the bodies. So in person, the effect is so incredible that there's just nothing like it. But filming it and sending it out virtually actually it distracts Bill and I, it would distract Leah, and we want our full focus on the people who are there in the room and making this change collectively. So that's why we don't do that one virtually.
Yeah, and aside from practitioner, it's like the only event you really get to have that one-on-one experience with Bill and our practitioners. And, imagine booking a session with Liz and Bill and all of our practitioners. That's basically, you're getting that times 5 times 30, however many hours you book. So it is really a powerful event. And just like our practitioner program, we give these promotions, and we want everybody to know about Cogno Conscious because it's such a powerful event. But really, those who are meant to be there are going to feel it, and they're going to get tickets. And that is why we end up filling up our spaces. So once again, I'm going to let y'all go. It's about time. A lot of people are here internationally. But if you want those tickets, the promotion of getting essentials for free or getting a coupon code, if you message me, it is the next 24 hours or until we sell out of this particular ticket price. So it could be less than 24 hours. So definitely ask your questions to us at info@cognomovement.com. Thank you so much for being here and doing the work. And we will see those of you who choose to come at Cogno Conscious.
Yeah, we really can't wait. We can't wait to give you all a big hug and have the opportunity to work with you personally and change the planet together. Right, Bill?
Can't wait to see you in person. Thank you. Thank you for being here today.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. Thanks,
Bye.
Bill. Thanks, Leah.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye.